September the 30th, 2025. Georgia's governor issues a rare warning. Homeowners are teetering on the edge as foreclosure filings surge. Atlanta home prices have plunged 9% in a year, and mortgage rates have hit highs not seen since 2000. If the market is cracking this fast, what dangers are hiding just beneath the surface? Georgia's housing market entered the summer of 2025 with numbers that left little room for optimism. The median sale price for a home across the state stood at $391,400 in June 2024, but by June 2025, Atlanta's median had fallen to $397,000, a drop of 9% from the previous year. This wasn't just an Atlanta story. The statewide average followed a similar downward slope, reflecting a cooling that had spread beyond the city's limits. Inventory told its own story. By June, 57,500 homes were listed for sale across Georgia, representing a 10% increase over the previous year. The market had shifted. More sellers were chasing fewer buyers, and competition among listings intensified. One state housing official described the situation as a growing mismatch, where homes lingered on the market and owners faced tough choices. This imbalance showed up in the numbers. 35% of active listings in June had already seen at least one price cut, a clear sign that sellers were adjusting to new realities. The average time a property spent on the market climbed to 48 days, up from just 37 days a year earlier. With supply rising and demand stalling, the pressure mounted on homeowners to lower expectations and prices. The traditional rules of a seller's market had faded, replaced by uncertainty and a growing sense of urgency among those still hoping to close a deal. Borrowing costs in Georgia have reached heights not seen in over a decade. By August 1st, 2025, the average 30-year fixed mortgage rate had climbed to 7.12%, according to the Atlanta Fed. Just weeks earlier, the Federal Reserve's June 12th rate hike sent a fresh wave of caution through the state's lending markets. For would-be buyers, higher rates mean less purchasing power. For current homeowners, refinancing is out of reach. Those who bought at the peak now find themselves locked into mortgages that outstrip the falling value of their homes. The supply of homes on the market, measured as months of supply, stood at 4.0 months of supply in June, still below the 6-month benchmark for a balanced market, but rising steadily. An Atlanta Fed housing economist warns that this environment is a trap for owners who need to sell quickly. As prices soften and competition intensifies, owners with adjustable rate loans or recent purchases face shrinking equity and limited exit options. Distress is spreading beyond price cuts. In May 2025, Georgia recorded 7.3 foreclosure filings for every 10,000 households. The delinquency ladder is climbing too. 4.2% of mortgages were 30 days past due, 2.8% at 60 days, and 1.3% at 90 days or more. These numbers, drawn from CoreLogic and state court data, signal a tightening vice. Credit is harder to access, and the cost of waiting grows with every passing month. The risk now is that a sudden shock, whether economic or environmental, could push these numbers higher, trapping more families in homes they cannot afford to keep or sell. Sentinel-1A and Sentinel-1B satellites have tracked the ground beneath Georgia with millimeter precision since 2018. Their interferometric radar measurements revealed that Savannah's historic zip codes 31401, 31410, and 31405 are subsiding at rates between 2.0 and 4.1 centimeters per year. South and West Atlanta neighborhoods, especially in DeKalb and Clayton counties, show patchy ground loss of 1.5 to 2.8 centimeters per year, a trend that quietly accelerated through early 2024. GRACEFO gravity data, processed by NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, recorded a mass loss of 5.1 gigatons along Georgia's coast in April 2024 compared to the 2019 baseline. This anomaly, equivalent to a 6.2 millimeters drop in groundwater thickness, clusters under the industrial corridor and matches zip codes where insurance premiums spiked in May and June. Landsat 8 and Landsat 9 scenes taken in August 2017 and September 2022 show an 8% expansion in mapped flood area across Chatham County, with impervious surfaces up 14%. ICE Sat-2 elevation profiles captured between January 2020 and April 2024 document a drop of 3.4 centimeters in select Savannah riverfront parcels. On September 12, 2023, at 1700 UTC, NOAA GOES, satellites tracked a fast-developing convective system over Glynn County that triggered flash flood warnings. These numbers, drawn from multiple missions and agencies, leave little doubt. Measurable, accelerating ground change is unfolding beneath Georgia's most vulnerable homes. The data is precise, time-stamped, and public, raising urgent questions for insurers, lenders, and regulators alike. Court dockets in Henry County recorded over 130 foreclosure filings in a single week in July 2025, an unprecedented spike that sent shockwaves through the community. Within 6 days, sheriffs executed 40 rapid evictions, with many families forced to pack up their lives under the watch of deputies. The courthouse saw lines form before sunrise, neighbors keeping their curtains drawn, uncertain who would be next to receive a notice. As a court recorder put it on July 23rd, it felt like everyone got a letter at once. People kept their curtains drawn. No one knew who would be next. The crisis spread far beyond one county. Across the Atlanta metro area, 3,200 eviction filings were logged in June alone, pushing local support services to their limits. Statewide, unemployment reached 4.6% that month, leaving more families unable to keep up with mortgage or rent. Meanwhile, insurance companies responded to the mounting risk by raising deductibles for foundation and flood damage by as much as 100% since January. For many, the cost of coverage now rivals a month's mortgage payment. In courtrooms and living rooms alike, the reality is sinking in. The safety net is unraveling, and the fallout is both financial and deeply personal. Georgia's housing crisis isn't just numbers, it's homes, futures, lives. As instability spreads, every delay in action deepens the fallout. What cracks today, tomorrow may collapse.